Alrighty, good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is having a good Saturday out there. It's been a little bit of a snowy / rainy Saturday in our storm system. Day number 2 of it. It is starting to come to a close, of course. Some areas still snowing. In parts of northern Maine, we'll continue to see snow into the day on Sunday, but most of us will get marked improvement heading into our Sunday. If you have a snowfall report, I'd love to see it. We've had snowfall reports range from nothing all the way up to 31 inches. How does that sound? 31 inches of snow. The snowfall was pretty heavy. A lot of folks have been out there shoveling, of course, and including me. And yeah, it's heavy, wet, sloppy, especially close to the coastline, back through ski country. They really needed this one, and no question about it. It was a pretty good looking snow event. Back through the ski resorts, the snowmobilers, they're pretty happy as well, especially in the mountains. But these snowfall amounts, they range, big range out there from a coating up to about 2 feet, a little over 2 feet of snow. All right, let's waste no time and start you off with what we have on the radar right now. The back edge of that snow in central Maine will start to shift off to the north. Yesterday, we were talking about an end time between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. And it's been slow to move out. I think 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. still works out pretty well. We've seen the back edge of the lights, the steady stuff move out over southern areas during the midday hours today. And we're already seeing improvement up into central Maine as well. That moves out probably over the next few hours. Another time lapse today. This one is our Naples sky cam. We're going to show you some of those snowfall amounts in just a second. I don't know why it's blipping right there. Actually, I do know why it's blipping. We've had some problems with that camera, but notice a little bit of rain late in the day there as well. So temperatures, they've been warming up into the mid 30s, and today was kind of like yesterday. We had inefficient snowfall accumulation during the day. Most of you got your accumulation overnight last night. Hey, this is where I'd like to be. I'm going to try to take my daughter skiing somewhere tomorrow. We are looking at Sugarloaf today around 3:35. Last check, they had over 20 inches. We'll take a look at that in a minute. About 2 feet of snow up at Sugarloaf there up in Carrabassett Valley. All right, again, we're kind of like yesterday to the point where the precipitation is falling. It's having a hard time accumulating. Some areas ending with a little bit of rain here. Those of you up into Androscoggin County, Kennebec County, the snow and what's ever left of a little bit of rain will be coming to an end very shortly. You see that narrow band that we talked about yesterday. It's slow to move out of your area right in here. But give it a few more hours, it will drift up into northern Maine. Northern Maine still is dealing with accumulating snow through the day tomorrow. Hey, this is pretty cool. This is a 36-hour radar loop. This is a 36-hour loop. Notice that rain snow line really sharpening up yesterday, of course. And there we go with the heavy stuff coming in last night and into this morning. And that is slowly starting to make its way off to the north. I always like looking at these slow loops over 36 hours. So 2-day storm system is slowly moving on. I'd be perfectly fine if the next one is a 6 to 12-hour storm, a little more manageable. With that said, though, going into the storm, we've been talking about it all week. Something is going to go wrong somewhere. And for a 2-day storm with a rain snow line and temperatures marginal, this one was pretty well behaved. The rain snow line kind of stayed pretty much in the area we were expecting it. Some areas in the mountains got incredible amounts of snowfall. And even at the coastline, we got the predicted amounts of snow. So this one pretty well behaved. You can only hope for that, I guess. If anything, some mountain locations had a little bit higher accumulations than anticipated. But I figured there'd be some around 18 inches or so. But a few spots got over 20 inches of snow. All right, this is the good stuff. Let's take a look at some of those snowfall amounts here. This is coming in from National Weather Service spotters and CBS 13 weather watchers. Thanks to everyone who sent in a report. And if you have a report, I'd love to see it. Officially at the Jetport, we had about 4 inches, and that's certainly not what's on the ground right now. One thing you need to know about snowfall measuring, at least in Portland, they measure every 6 hours, and they're not measuring technically at the Jetport. They're measuring in Deering, the North Deering section. And so yesterday by 7 o'clock, we had 1 inch of snow. And then, so what happens, you wipe off the board, it's kind of a slushy inch. And then you had another, at 7 a.m., you got another measurement, and that was probably about 3 inches of snow. And you add that to the 1, even though that 1 pretty much collapsed to nothing. So 4 inches is not on the ground right now in Portland. It's kind of like the blizzard of 2013. That one came in at 32.5 inches of snow, and nobody had 32 inches of snow. It was for a different reason, though. You measure the snow every 6 hours. You might measure 10 inches. You wipe off the board, and then more snow blows in there, and then you get the falling snow. And that was a blowing snow situation. So just how to explain that for you here. Cape Elizabeth officially half an inch. I just rounded rounded to the nearest whole inch here. Old Orchard Beach, about 4 here. Gorham's reporting 4. Saco 3. Kennebunk, Port, Alfred, 6 inches here. No, Shapley. Then you get some terrain. You get some higher terrain here. Shapley, Acton, 13 to 18 inches. Sanford's coming in with 6 here. We got a report from our weather watcher in Berwick of 7 inches. No real surprises in this area. And this, I want to talk about this for a minute here. Sebago Lake is right here. We talked about this last night. Anytime you get a wind that comes in out of the east-northeast in the early winter and in late winter, you get some really interesting snowfall amounts in North Sebago. Mike does, at least, because for a few reasons. You get the wind that comes in off the warmer lake waters, and he's in the lower elevations just outside of the Douglas Mountain area there. They got a foot of snow right behind him up in the hills here in Douglas Mountain area. I got a report from one of our producers here, Sam. She had and she's right at Douglas Mountain, right at the base, and she had about a foot of snow. So it's always interesting to see Mike's report, 3 inches. You get down in the valley, and it's quite a bit less here. Wyndham coming in with 4 inches, same in Cumberland, 4. Weather Service Gray, 6, about a half foot there. New Gloucester, Poland. Lewiston, 9 inches. How about that? I think it was 8.5 officially here. Lisbon Falls, about 5 inches. Auburn coming in with 5. You get a little elevation up in Turner as well. Turner, Livermore, Leeds, you over a foot of snow here. Otisfield, about 14, 15 in Casco. Bridgeton coming in with 11. Porter, our weather watcher, Heidi, she's got a little elevation at her house, so 18 inches there. I always like it when the ski reports send me a report. If you are a snow reporter at a ski resort, I'd love to see your snowfall reports. So it was nice. The folks at Cranmore sent me an email today and said, Charlie, we got 16 inches of snow. Made my job a little easier to just put it on the map. So I appreciate that. If you have a snowfall report, I'd love to post it up here as well. And National Weather Service, actually in North Conway, we got a report from our weather watcher there, about 9 inches. So this is interesting too, because Cranmore's in North Conway, and you get a little elevation. Yeah, it goes up a little bit here. These snowfall amounts go up dramatically. Going across Mid-Coast Maine, we really didn't get much. Some areas got a slushy inch of snow across Mid-Coast Maine. So the peninsulas and islands, to be more specific here. Belfast got about 2. Augusta, last check, Kathy had 7. And this was, she sent me a text about 4 hours ago. So I would imagine she has more at this point. Topsom 5, Brunswick coming in with 6, our weather watcher, and Brunswick has 6. All right, now to the good stuff. This is what you wanted to see, right? All right, good stuff here. All right, so I stand corrected. I said over 20 inches. I just checked the website at Sugarloaf. 30 inches of snow reported up there. Down Rangeley, about 16 inches there. You head down the valley in Kingfield, about 18 inches. New Vineyard, our weather watcher Joe there is reporting about 2 feet of snow. Weld, a little over 2 feet of snow. Farmington, it's funny because Farmington, I always feel like gets gypped a little bit, misses out, but not this time. 20 inches of snow. The folks over at Sunday River reporting about 24 inches. I'll tell you, ski resorts really needed this, didn't they? I mean, they're going to love just having this as a base going forward here. Bethel coming in with 22 inches. Our John, our weather watcher, he's a good weather watcher down in the valley there in Bethel, 22 inches there. Jackson, New Hampshire, got a report of 21 inches. And this one takes the cake. Pinkham Notch. My guess is is taken right at Pinkham Notch Visitor Center right there. 31 inches of snow. All right. I think I know where I'm going skiing very soon. Let's check out some of the weather watchers. Maybe some people have some interesting reports for us here. Let's see. George says, same kind of reports out in Western Mass. Yeah, you're right. How much in Patton? I'm not sure how much fell in Patton. Just a little outside of our area up in Patton. I bet you want to go snowmobiling if you're asking about Patton. I know it's a big snowmobiling area. Let's see here. Richard says we have about an inch, a slushy inch. Snow and slush in Calais. All right. Thanks for the reports, guys. This is great. Let's see. Jason says, I'm in North Saco, just west of I-95, 112. And we saw 6 inches. I'm a trained spotter. All right, Jason. Appreciate it, buddy. 6 inches. All right. That sounds like a good one. It doesn't seem like we got 5 inches in. Hold on. Alicia, 5 inches in Auburn. She says, doesn't seem like it. Maybe it compacted. I mean, listen, there's no way we have 4 inches of snow on the ground in Portland. We have maybe a half it. To be honest with you, we probably have like an inch at most right now. It's just, rained on top of it. It compacted. So the way folks officially measure, you measure over 6 hours, you measure on a board, or you take 5 uniform measurements and then, you wipe it off 6 hours later, you add to it. It just doesn't really work with compaction. I think someday we got to go back to the old way where you just stick a ruler in at the end of a storm system. I mean, there's disadvantages to that as well. But going back to the blizzard of 2013, there's no way Portland got 32 inches of snow. But this happens when you measure every 6 hours, All right, what do we have? Snow on the trees, Troy says. All right, 14 inches in Cornville. Thanks for the report, Brian. I appreciate that. How much did Biddeford get? I didn't get a report from Biddeford, Sarah. I'm sorry. I got a report from Saco. Let's see if we can take a look at Saco one last time. Let's zoom in here. Saco had 3 inches, so that's close enough. As we heard earlier, I think it was Jason. He said he had more than that, about 5 or 6 inches. But Saco's big. You get inland just a little bit. It's much different scenario there. I had about 4 inches at my house, I believe. North Berwick was wet and heavy. Yes, Aaron, absolutely. If you shovel the snow, you know exactly what we're talking about. I got a foot at my house in New Gloucester. All right, our weather watcher in New Gloucester, or I should say, the National Weather Service spotter in New Gloucester, is reporting 7 inches. That might be a little bit old. So thanks for the update, Brenda. I appreciate that. But yeah, New Gloucester coming in with 7. Gray came in with 6. Maybe you get a little elevation at your house, Brenda, and that's possible as well. You go up in elevation, an entirely different scenario there. Presque Isle, nothing in Presque Isle. Wow, nothing in Presque Isle. Huh, interesting, Richard. Thanks for the report. Just a dusting in Stockton Springs. College students will be hitting the ski resorts this holiday break. I'm with you, Troy. Yeah, they will be. Imagine being a college student again. You get that long break. I don't know. That was fun. All right. 21 inches in Shelburne, New Hampshire. And boy, it's heavy, Marianne says. Thanks for the report from Shelburne, New Hampshire. We don't get many reports from Shelburne. Thank you very much. Love that area. Great spot. 21 inches. No power in Mechanic Falls. That's the other big story. At last check, I think we had 70,000 customers without power. I mean, some of the ski resorts had to close today. I mean, I think Pleasant Mountain, one of those, second day they're open. They had too many trees down. So no question about it. It was a big problem as far as I think most of the power outages were actually in Oxford County. So we're seeing, 20 inches of snow. You get a little bit of a breeze. The pine trees, they get weighed down. That's when you have some problems. All right. Rob says, good evening to you, Charlie. My name is Rob. I'm here on the coast, Belfast, presently speaking. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Did you get a report? My guess at Belfast, I think we had a report of, what do we have? About 2 inches of a report. Weather Service spotter there. Oh, hold on. We're going to get your report in a second. Belfast. There we go. Yeah, Belfast, 2 inches. All right. Thanks for checking in, Rob. We haven't had power in Auburn since this morning, Ashley says. I hope you get power back soon. Nobody wants to go into a cold night without power. We're in the 20s for lows tonight. Any untreated surfaces will freeze up. Klein says we had 22 inches in Carabasset. All right. That sounds good. Thanks for the report there, Klein. Love all these reports. Let me check these one more time. We get to the bottom of this. Robert's watching us from Texas. 0 in Texas. Hey, Robert, it's going to get cold in Texas later in the week. Get ready, buddy. It's going to get chilly. No skiing today. Haley. Hey, Haley. Thanks for checking in. No skiing today. I'm going to try to go tomorrow. That will be fun. But thanks for checking in. How to work today, Haley? Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow we get the day off. 6 inches in Randolph. All right, Kevin, thanks for the report. Yeah, we have giant pumpkin guru Elroy Morgan reporting in. Hey, Elroy, what's going on today? 11 inches in Charleston and still snowing. All right, he's probably going to add to a little more on that. It's great to see some familiar faces. Elroy, one of the premier giant pumpkin growers in the state of Maine, as you can see from his little thumbnail right there. It's a big pumpkin right next to him. So he probably has some time away from the pumpkin patch to measure snow now. So thanks for checking in. How much did Dixfield get? Hey, Tanya, I'm not sure. I never got a report from Dixfield. If you love to measure, I'll report it. So thank you very much. Thanks for checking in. Looks like about 3 inches in South Portland. Hey, Russ, another familiar face on here. 3 inches. That sounds about right. Lori says, is it done right now? And it depends on where you are. Central Maine points north. You're going to deal with some snow for the next several hours. Northern Maine, especially way up in Aroostook County, you're going to be dealing with snow through the day tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be snowy even up into Sunday through parts of northern Maine. All right, thanks for checking in, guys. You know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about the forecast briefly. You might be talking about wondering what's happening tomorrow, because notice Sunday, 7 a.m., northern Maine still dealing with some snow. Here in southern Maine, we will have some sun returning, at least for a little while here. That's not what I want to do. I want to circle the sun, notice the snow in northern Maine. We will have at least a partly sunny sky in the morning, but by afternoon, I think it's mostly cloudy. So the clouds probably win out tomorrow. Temps will be in the 30s. It's a little breezy, but not extreme. Now, Monday, the wind picks up. It's a little gusty. Northwest wind should gust over 30 miles per hour. Notice the temperatures in the 30s. We will have brighter skies for a little while. So it's sun and clouds on Monday. And then full sunshine returns on Tuesday. There are no weather-related problems for tomorrow. Actually, tonight, tomorrow. Let's see. That takes us into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You will get a mostly cloudy sky, I think, on Thursday. Our next storm system is still our Festivus storm, and that is next Friday. If you know what I'm talking about, it's from a Seinfeld episode. And yeah, our Festivus storm 2 days ago looked like it might bring some snow. Yesterday it was looking a little warmer, and today it is still looking warm. So the primary concerns with our Friday, our Christmas Eve storm, or our Festivus storm, Friday the 23rd, is probably rain and wind. I think wind may become an issue. Was that 2 years ago? We got the 17 inches of snow, and then we had the big Grinch storm. Remember that? It rained just before Christmas, and it rained Christmas Eve day, and we wiped out 17 inches just like that. I hope that's not going to be the case, but this one is looking wet, and it is looking windy. With that said, I think the mountains will get some snow with this, at least at the onset. Temps should be cold enough for at least a little bit of snow early Friday morning before a changeover. You will change over, I think, in the mountains. But, 4 or 5 days out, let's say Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so six days out. I keep thinking today's Monday. I don't know why. But it looks like our next storm system is looking more wet than white. So... all right, the feats of strength, perhaps, on Friday. All right, tomorrow, I think we'll see a mostly cloudy sky, sun and clouds on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all look pretty good. There's that rain and wind on Friday. And your inland forecasts, it looks like more of the same. 50 degrees, come on Friday. That's the way it looks. And Saturday is Christmas Eve. I think we're in pretty good shape there. After Saturday, actually Saturday, Sunday, should be a cold Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We're probably talking about highs only in the 20s. So we have that kind of set up heading into the holiday here. All righty, folks. I hope I answered all your questions. We'll leave it at that tonight. We do not have a newscast at 6 o'clock tonight or 6:30 because there's a football game on. There was an exciting football game on today. Did you see that Vikings game? Holy smokes. That's a big comeback. But it looks like we will have a Fox 23 at 10. We'll have new updates there, and CBS 13, 11. Overall, things are quieting down. But we'll have more information for you then. And if you have a report, I'd love to see it. All right, take care, everybody. Have a nice night, and be careful digging out. Snow's heavy. Take care.